Hi and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how to edit or create spreadsheet files using Python. Before that, recall that in an older video we talked about how to view spreadsheet files inside your VS Code without need of opening another window of a software like Excel or Calc. There are a few updates, so let's talk about them. There were two extensions that we could use. One of them was called Excel Viewer and another one was called Office Viewer. I'm going to use Office Viewer right now, and when I open a spreadsheet file, you see there is something different from what we saw in the older video. And the difference is that there was a toolbar at the top that was the advantage of using Office Viewer compared to the Excel Viewer, that you could use to do some editing, coloring, and other tasks, but now is missing. So what is the problem? Go to the extension, and I go to the settings of Office Viewer. There is an option, Hide Toolbar. I didn't take it, but for some strange reason, it is by default hidden, and no matter I tick it or untick it, it doesn't make any difference. This problem has been reported in their GitHub page in the issues, and one solution that was suggested was rolling back to an older version. Okay, so the latest version right now is 3.5, and that has this issue. The newest version before this one that doesn't have this issue is 3.2.9. Now you may ask how to install an older version of an extension in VS Code. That's easy. So you uninstall the current one, restart the extension, and then you click on this symbol and install a specific version. And you can choose any version you like. The latest version that doesn't have this issue, 3.2.9. Now we looked at the spreadsheet file. The toolbar is back there. Now, one thing that some people may not like is that the icon for the print is not showing a printer, but it's showing the VS Code icon. It's not a big deal, but if it is important for you, the latest version that has the toolbar and the correct icon for printer is 3.2.0. So let's go for that one. Now we open the same spreadsheet file. The icon is good. Now, between 3.2.0 and 3.2.9, there is one big difference that I will show you in a moment, which make you prefer to have wrong icon for printer instead of something else. So let's create a Python file. I have test.py here, so I call the new one is test0.py. I split the view so I can see both the Python file that I'm coding here and whatever happens on the spreadsheet file on the other side. Okay. So what package I use to edit spreadsheet files? There are many choices out there. The simplest one is called OpenPyXl, and if you don't have it, you open a terminal. You can go to your terminal, write pip install OpenPyXl, Py for Python, XL for Excel, but spreadsheet files. I have it, so I don't need to worry about that part. Then from OpenPyXl import everything. Well, I usually don't import everything I only import the comments that I need, but for the moment, I do like this. Spreadsheet file consists of a workbook that contains several worksheets. In this file, there is only one worksheet inside the workbook, but there can be workbooks that have more than one sheet. So what you are importing is not the worksheet, is the workbook, which is the collection of this worksheet. So I need to import that. Without importing that, the Python file has no access or relation with this file. I put a name for it. Usually I put WB for workbook, but you can choose any other name that you like. And the comment is load underscore workbook. And then put the name of the workbook. Here is example.xlsx. Because this file, the Python file and the spreadsheet file are in the same folder, I can just use the name of the spreadsheet file. But if it was in another folder somewhere else, then I had to use its address. For example, I could use the absolute address for this file, which is in drive C, studio project, then example.xlsx. So I could use the name because it's in the same folder, or I could use the directory, the address. Both of them will do the same thing for this file. But if it is another place, you cannot use directly the name. Okay. Then when I load the workbook, I need to pick up a worksheet and then start editing the rows, columns, or cells, right? So I need to say WS for worksheet. You could choose any other name. From WB square bracket, pick up sheet that is named or titled sheet 1. See, the title is here, sheet 1. Okay. Now I want to write something here. There are two ways to write something in a cell. You can say pick up the worksheet, use the cell method, and then inside round parentheses, say which row, row 1, which column, column 1, and I want to put a value inside it. So value equal 5. This will put the value in column 1, row 1 cell of this worksheet. The other way is to say worksheet WS in square bracket name of the cell in the traditional version that you do in Excel usually. For example, I want column 2 row 1, which you can call it B1 as a string, and then I put equal and I put a number 8. So put 8 here. It is writing less, but sometimes writing a bit more is better, and also picking up what is name of the column for you maybe a bit difficult, but anyway, you can write things to make things simpler. Now, if I run this, nothing will happen here, because when I load this workbook, there is a copy of this workbook for the Python. It does things on that copy, and when you finish your Python code without anything at the end of it, that copy is gone away. To have that copy, you need to save. And to save, you don't save the worksheet, you save the workbook. So method save. If I choose a different name, there will be a new spreadsheet file with that name inside this folder. And that won't be the same file. But I want to do things on the same file, so I use the same name. So it will overwrite on the same file. When I run this, these two cells will get the value, right? So let's run it. but I don't see any update here. I have to close this file and open it again in the view. But that will be a pain. If I need to close, open, then having another window like Excel or Calc to see the result, opening, closing it again and again, would be the same thing. So that's the reason I say 3.2.0 has beautiful printer sign, but to solve our issue, we need to go and install 3.2.9. I open again. This sign is not beautiful, however, something else is good. So I change this, or I add another one, WSC1 equal to 14. Now if I run this, you see 14 appeared here without needing me to close and open this again. So let's do some other things. For example, I may want to have the values here being doubled in the next row. So I can use a for loop for I range 1, 2, 4, 2. So now be careful that whenever you are doing something in the OpenPyXl command, such as this row, column, blah, blah, it's one index. So the spreadsheet file is one index, OpenPyXl is one index, but when you do things in Python, there are 0 index. So if I write just range 4, it will go 0, column 1, which column 0 doesn't exist. So I explicitly said start from 1. WSL, see, row 2, column I, and remember that the range stop 1 before the upper bound. So for going up to column 3, I have to say stop condition 4. Then I have to say value equal, I want the value of previous cell above them multiply by 2. So how can I do that? Well, I could use WS square, but I have to have the name with A, B, C, blah, blah. But I want to use numbers for 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Same as here, I. So I use the other notation, WS cell row 1 row above, column the same column. Now you say if I use this and I have to write value equal, I don't want to reassign some value there. No, you don't have to put value. Value is not a mandatory argument for this method. Go out, I put attribute value for cell, which is a method for WS worksheet. Then multiply by 2. That will be the value that goes inside this one. Then if I run this, because I'm saving it, I have to see 10, 16, 24. See 10, 16, 28. Now let's say I want to create a new worksheet. I don't want to load something. So what should I do? I define a new workbook 2, and instead of loading, I use the workbook with capital W, the comment that creates a new one. As soon as you create a workbook, it will have one worksheet in it, which will be named, I think, sheet 1, if I remember correctly. We will see. Let's say I want to create different worksheet and I don't want to use that default one, so I will have two worksheets inside this workbook. I can use the method create sheet and I put a name for it, new sheet, and I want it to be the first worksheet inside the workbook. Let's put some value there so we are sure that this is our new worksheet. New B2 new sheet being WS, and then in WS the cell A1 having the value 1. Now let's create another worksheet as well. So create sheet with the name another sheet WS2 being WB2 another sheet. A is capital. I can put name for it and then call cell of this guy, or I can just remove this. This is worksheet itself, and then I say this part is this worksheet, same as the WS that I put here. Whatever I do with WS, I can do with this without putting a specific name for it. Okay, I put the value 2, and of course I have to save it, otherwise it's gone. Save, and I put the name example2 XL as X, so it will put it in the same place that this Python file is there. Now I run it, hopefully no typo, and we going to open this. So we open this, sheet is the default one is here, new sheet is here. So you see that the sheets are not one index, and you see if you don't put look index as the second argument of create sheet, the sheet that you create goes at the end. Now let's change the order of this thing. So I want this to be at the beginning, and this one by default will go at the end. So I will run this again. So you see the new sheet comes at the beginning, so the sheets are 0 index. I think that's enough to make you start. If you go look at the tutorial, you will see that you can even do plotting, the same things that you had in Excel. All of them you can do here as well. Before finishing, let's open the files that we had in the previous video. So we had this file, if you look at the videos, and this spreadsheet file. So this spreadsheet file is some imaginary students of a class. They had an exam with 5 questions and they got some mark. And there are 3 more columns. So these numbers somehow are populated here, either by human or by some automatic code. Now the total mark, which is some of these, the status if they are failed or passed, and the rank in the class. We want to populate this using some code here. This was the file that you saw in the video. What it does, it says from OpenPyXl import load workbook. It doesn't need the new workbook, so it didn't add workbook with capital W. doesn't need that, or any other comment. That's enough for him. Use the load workbook command to load the spreadsheet file name course a.xlsx, which is this guy. We put it in a variable wb, and now from wb he picked up the active sheet, which is, there is only one sheet here. We put it in ws. Now there is one line which is commented out. I will uncomment it because I want to show you something. It says in the cell I2 put a string, and inside that string is an Excel command. It says formula equal capital sum parentheses D2 until H2. It's a range D2 until H2. So it's a formula, and if you do it in Excel here, it will put the summation of these numbers. So I just comment out this line, which is the same thing. Now for I3, we want the summation of D3 until H3. And I do it with Python style. So sum in Python, it's not capital, it's small. And then I say WS, this worksheet, I plus 3, and I is W, E, F, G, H. These are strings here. And plus between two string is just concatenation, just putting them next to each other. So it will be D3, E3. That's one way to do it. And this int, I don't think it's necessary, but let's do another one. So W3, I4 equal, I could do also this way, sum WS cell row, the row is 4, column D is A, B, C, D, 4. When I put I here, then I put value for I in range 4 until 5, 6, 7, 8, and I didn't put int, so I run this and I save on the different file, not this one. And this. So this is summing up, that worked, the second one. The third one worked. What about the first one? It put that formula there. Now that formula needs to be run by something that can run that file. The Office viewer cannot run this. So this is there, it sees it, but it doesn't compile it. To see that it's really there, let's open it with Excel. You see the 99, here it's empty, but here it shows 99. And when you click on it, the formula is there. But when you click the other, Python has done the computation and only the number is there. So if I change this one to 20, this become 100. Let me put it back. But if I change this one to 21, this guy does not get updated because it's a fixed number. So there are advantages, disadvantages if you do things with Python or you do it with other things. If you are going to use Excel, well then put formula. If you are just going to do the computation, you don't need things being updated again later, then do the computation inside Python. Or you can give the Python file to that person next to this as an accompanying file, and then people can edit the Python files. Well, let me to comment all of these. I'm going to do all these 3 tasks, adding the numbers, fail and pass, and ranking, all of them with Python. So I want a for loop to do for all the rows. So I say for I in range from row 2 until row 15. So I need to go up to 16. Sometimes I write like this. It may help some people to know. It stopped at 15, not 16. And then I will say from the worksheet WS, pick up the cell in row I, column 9, I is 9, put the value to be sum of WS cell row, the same row, but column J, value of this cell, which J is moving in the range 4 till 8. Finish the summation and finish the assignment of the value to those cells. That will do this. So let's run it. Now I have this file open, so I close this. No, don't save it. Yeah, the problem was that the file was open with another stuff, and then the Python could not do things with it. So it does this, and also this will be overwritten, so I need that also. Now that I have the total mark, the criteria for being passed, let's say, is having mark more than 60. Well, I can do it in the same line. So as soon as it calculates this, it can decide the next cell. So say WS, well, if the value, the row I column 9 value is greater than or equal to 60, then the value of the cell in row I column 10 equal to the string passed. Let's say pass, and then else WS cell row I column 10 value the string fail. Okay. Now, what about the rank? Can I do it at the same go? No, I need to know all of this. This all need to be populated, and then I can start doing things. So I go out of the for loop, but let's save it just to see if it worked. Pass, 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 fail. Yeah, it worked. Now I want the rank of this byte. So this person should be rank 2 because there is one more and that value 100, right? It needs all of these, and it needs the things to be sorted, and then I can go look at the first instance of this number in the sorted version and pick up the index of it, right? So first I pick up these values, let's say scores, all the scores. I want to put them in a list. I can say WS cell row I column 9 value for I in range 2 until 16, 15. So like this. that will give me, so let's just print these scores in the terminal to make sure that it's working. It's working. There is also another way. So let's comment this, then say scores. There was a way of selecting a range in a spreadsheet file. Let's say I want this is I2 until I15. If I go here, it's I2 until J15. You can do it here too. So I can say, let's say for now, cell for this cell in WS square bracket I2 colon I15. This will give all the cells here, but there's a catch here. So you expect to have the value of those cells, and then there will be the same numbers 99 until these things, but it won't. Let's run it to see what will happen. When it says there is a tuple which doesn't have the attribute value. Let's see what is there. Say print this range. So there is a big tuple. Each element of that tuple is a tuple. So when we said C in this range, each instance of C was one of these tuples, and this tuple has only one element, comma, other things. So you need to say the first entry of this guy. Get rid of this. I pick up the same. I say the first, so C is this, and I want the first one of it, this cell. It's a tuple in Python, so 0. So I pick up the cells, the first entry of these tuples, and then I say the value, and this guy should have the value. Let's run this, and we see the print statement. See the print statement. So it's the same as the one we got here. Okay. So that's also another way. Whichever is best for you, you can use that. Now, I need to sort. And remember, sorting will put smallest to greatest, but I want the greatest value be in the first index, right? And then, so from great to small. And therefore, I should say reverse equal true. And if I now print these, they are in the correct order. So what I want to do, I don't want the print anymore. I put a for statement, I in range 2 till 15, this column. So the cell in row I column 11, the value I want to be in the list scores, find index of the value in cell row I column 9, add 1 to it because it's Python 0 index, so I need to add 1. And that's it. So it finds the index of 99 in this sorted list, which will be, because of Python, 0 index 0 1, and then add 1, so it becomes 2. Then you put it there. So we run this cell. I put call, that's fine. You see that this person is rank 2, this person is rank 1. So we did everything with Python. That's an easy exercise. Now, if you want more, just go to the tutorial of OpenPyXl. It's well written, and you can find plenty of things. For example, how to do the porting image and charts, etc.